Did you know that the reason you've been feeling inexplicably sad, anxious, or just off lately might have nothing to do with your circumstances and everything to do with a vitamin that 42% of American adults are deficient in? I'm talking about vitamin D, and today we're diving into 11 bizarre signs that your body is screaming for this sunshine vitamin in ways that will completely shock you. Before we jump in, I want you to think about the last time you felt genuinely happy for no particular reason. Can't remember? That might not be a coincidence. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll understand why your mood swings might actually be your body's desperate cry for help. And if you're new here, welcome to our Wellness Signals community. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because the information we share could save your life. Let's start with something that'll blow your mind. Have you ever noticed that you crave specific foods when you're feeling down? Well, here's the thing most people don't realize about vitamin D deficiency. When your levels are low, your brain literally changes how it processes serotonin, that feel-good chemical we all need. This isn't just about feeling a little blue on a cloudy day. We're talking about your body's entire mood regulation system going haywire because it's missing this crucial nutrient. The first odd sign that nobody talks about is sudden food aversions. Not cravings, but actual disgust toward foods you normally love. When your vitamin D levels drop, your taste buds and appetite regulation get thrown completely out of whack. You might find yourself pushing away your favorite meal feeling nauseous, and everyone assumes you're just stressed. But your body is actually trying to tell you something much deeper is wrong. Here's where it gets really weird. Sign number 2 is what I call phantom social anxiety. You know that feeling when you walk into a room full of people you know well, but suddenly feel like everyone's judging you? When you're vitamin D deficient, your brain's threat detection system goes into overdrive. You start reading danger in neutral facial expressions and interpreting normal social interactions as hostile. It's like wearing glasses that make everyone look angry when they're actually just living their lives. The third sign is absolutely fascinating, and something doctors rarely connect to vitamin D. You start having vivid, often disturbing dreams that feel more real than your waking life. When your vitamin D levels are insufficient, your brain's sleep architecture changes dramatically. Your REM cycles get disrupted, and your subconscious mind starts processing stress and anxiety in these incredibly intense dream scenarios. You wake up exhausted, feeling like you've been battling demons all night, because in a way, you have been. Now here's something that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about motivation. Sign number 4 is sudden creative blocks and the complete inability to feel inspired by things that used to excite you. Artists call it creative death, but it's actually your brain running on empty. Vitamin D receptors are found throughout your brain, including areas responsible for creativity and innovation. When these areas aren't getting what they need, it's like trying to paint a masterpiece with dried-out brushes. Sign number 5 is probably the strangest one yet, and it involves your relationship with temperature. People with vitamin D deficiency often develop what I call emotional thermostats. They feel cold when they're sad and overheated when they're anxious, even when the actual temperature hasn't changed. Your body loses its ability to regulate both mood and temperature simultaneously because these systems are more connected than most people realize. Here's something that might explain why you've been feeling disconnected from people lately. Sign number 6 is the sudden inability to read emotional cues accurately. You know when someone's tone seems off, but you can't figure out if they're angry, disappointed, or just tired? Vitamin D deficiency affects the parts of your brain responsible for emotional intelligence. You start misinterpreting signals, which leads to unnecessary conflict, and a growing sense that you're losing touch with the people closest to you. The 7th sign is absolutely mind-blowing, and it has to do with your sense of time. When you're deficient in vitamin D, minutes feel like hours, and hours disappear in what seems like minutes. Your internal clock gets completely scrambled. This isn't just about being bored or busy. Your brain literally loses its ability to process time normally, which creates this underlying sense of panic that you can't quite identify. You feel like you're always running late or like time is slipping through your fingers. Sign number 8 is something I bet you've experienced but never understood. You start feeling emotionally numb toward things that should matter to you. Your child's graduation, a friend's achievement, even your own successes feel flat and meaningless. This isn't depression in the traditional sense. It's your brain's reward system malfunctioning because it doesn't have the vitamin D it needs to produce adequate dopamine responses. You're literally unable to feel joy, even when good things happen. Here's where it gets really personal. Sign number 9 is developing an irrational fear of being judged for your appearance, even when you haven't changed anything about how you look. Vitamin D deficiency affects body image perception in ways that researchers are just beginning to understand. You look in the mirror and see flaws that others don't see, not because you're vain, but because your brain is processing visual information incorrectly. The 10th sign is absolutely crucial to understand because it affects every relationship in your life. You develop what I call conversation paralysis. You want to connect with people, but every social interaction feels exhausting before it even begins. Your brain starts viewing normal human connection as a threat that requires enormous energy to navigate. This isn't introversion or social anxiety. It's your nervous system being stuck in survival mode because it lacks the nutrients needed to feel safe in social situations. And here's the final sign that ties everything together. You start feeling like you're living someone else's life, like you're watching yourself go through the motions, but you're not really there. This dissociation isn't psychological trauma, though it feels just as real. When your brain doesn't have enough vitamin D, the neural pathways responsible for self-awareness and present moment consciousness start to deteriorate. You feel like a stranger to yourself because your brain literally can't maintain a stable sense of identity. Now, before you panic and assume you have all of these symptoms, let me share something important. The human body is incredibly resilient, and vitamin D deficiency is completely reversible. The key is understanding that these aren't character flaws or signs that something is fundamentally wrong with who you are as a person. These are biological symptoms with biological solutions. The reason these signs are so odd and overlooked is that we've been conditioned to think mood problems are purely psychological. But your brain is an organ just like your heart or liver, and it needs specific nutrients to function properly. When those nutrients are missing, it doesn't matter how much therapy you do or how many self-help books you read. You're trying to fix a hardware problem with software solutions. What makes this even more fascinating is that vitamin D isn't just a vitamin. It's actually a hormone that affects virtually every system in your body. When levels are optimal, you feel like yourself. When they're low, you feel like you're slowly disappearing from your own life. The good news is that once you address the deficiency, these symptoms often resolve much faster than you'd expect. People report feeling more like themselves within weeks, not months or years. It's like someone turned the lights back on in rooms of their personality they forgot existed. If you recognized yourself in several of these signs, the next step isn't to self-diagnose or panic. It's to get tested and work with a healthcare provider who understands the connection between vitamin D and mental health. Your mood isn't your fault, and it's not your destiny. Sometimes the solution to feeling like yourself again is simpler than you ever imagined. Remember, your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and often they're more connected than we realize. If this video opened your eyes to possibilities you hadn't considered, share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And if you want to learn more about the surprising ways nutrition affects your mind and mood, subscribe, because we're just getting started uncovering these hidden connections.
Your brain deserves the nutrients it needs to help you feel like the amazing person you truly are.